Hello everybody, I want to give you a little tour of progress in my garden and let you all know how the garden is doing because this is live. I'm not going to be, well, let's see, the sun is starting to come up here in Nebraska, so I'm going to switch this over. Okay, this is the entrance to my garden right here. So let's go in. Okay. And as we go in, the first thing we see is my onions. I love onions. Onions are so healthy for you. And these are going to be harvested here in about another 3 weeks. And then here I have more. And then I have celery growing. This is celery. And I do have still some pepper plants that are blooming, but I don't know if I'll ever harvest anything because I planted them late. Okay. Here are my carrots. They're going to be harvested pretty soon, and as you can tell, there's one right there. I'll be getting some carrots from them. And then here's my yellow squash. They seem to overtake the garden so much these days. And they're still blooming, but I have recently picked them. So I don't, there's a little one down there. And more blooms, so I'm going to be getting more squash from these. Here's a bunch of blooms on here and with little ones growing. So I have a good 2-3 weeks. Here's a big one down here. Look at these big ones. Oh my goodness. I need to pick some more here shortly. There's another one growing. Wow. And these here that I have growing, this is fennel. And they're mainly used for the seeds. These are the seeds, fennel seeds. And you can eat the bottom of these fennel here. You can eat that, pull them and cut them, and they sort of taste a little bit like celery. Here's another one that's growing. See how big it is on the bottom? You can actually eat those, and I plan on eating them here shortly. Here are some onions that are still left over that I'm going to be picking. This is my sage plant that I put outside from growing it last winter, and it's doing good. And here's a little bit of dill that's still left over. It's pretty much went to seed. There's a little bit of celery growing right there. And then here I have, this is cantaloupe, but it's got another 3-4 weeks before I can pick it. Here's some more squash growing. I'm going to have to come out here and pick this stuff. And then I've got several pumpkins that are just starting to turn yellow. Okay. More pumpkins in that corner. There's a bunch of pumpkins growing. And I had an infestation of grasshoppers. This is grasshopper damage. They're eating all the leaves up on my Brussels sprouts. See the Brussels sprouts growing there? I'll be able to harvest them in a week or two. And then here I have peppers. They're still little, not very big. I don't really have a lot of success with peppers around here. I think the climate is a little bit too cold for peppers. And of course, these are my cucumbers. I just picked a bunch of them and canned them. And I don't see any more that need to be picked. Yeah, I'll probably pick them here in a couple of weeks. I'll pick some. Oop, wait, there's one big one that needs to be picked. Look at the size of that. I hope it's still good. I hope it didn't get bitter. But I'll definitely eat that tonight for dinner. And of course, here's some more. These are, you can't see them very good, but those are cantaloupes. They'll be ready to harvest in about 3 weeks. And that is about the size of my garden. More cantaloupes growing. Got a few tomatoes left. Acorn squash is here. And the garden is starting to simmer down now. It's simmering down, and I got a lot of things to clean up before winter sets in. And next year I'm going to have a bigger and better garden. A little bit more variety than I have this year. This all was an experiment, and the experiment worked. The soil is really good here. I'm going to improve it over the winter, and of course it took a lot of watering here in Nebraska. We irrigate a lot. We don't get a lot of rain, but actually this year has been a good year for rain. We've gotten a little bit more rain than we anticipated. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour to my channel. I'm going to be posting this on the Coffee Time with Grandpa. And that way you'll be able to see what's going on in my garden. And hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel. Always remember that I post mostly daily. And I always have something new to talk about. Especially in Nebraska here, there seems to be always something new going on. And I welcome everybody to my channel. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to my channel so I can grow and bring more content like this to you. Let me give you a quick show of my other section of the garden, which is away from the house. It's more where I live, my cottage. Here, I'm going to switch over to the other setting. This is where I live, and this is my piece of heaven that I have here. This is my herb garden, and where I sit on cool evenings outside, and sometimes I grill or barbecue. I grow a lot of flowers. They're doing well. Flowers do very well here. Look at this flower here. And then I grow a lot of herbs. That's basil there, and sage, another sage in pots. Herbs do very well in pots. Of course, I'm winding down my garden now. This is celery, what I have left over. I've cut it and dried it stored it for the winter. There you go. There's more flowers, morning glories. Another cantaloupe there on the ground. More flowers. And this is a cement wall that I'm building in construction. I'm going to make it because the snow seems to always come in the wintertime through here. So I'm putting this wall up to keep the snow out so I can enjoy my outdoor space in the wintertime also. Here's some of my flowers that I'm growing. These are mainly marigolds. They're doing really, really well. And these are my tomatoes. I'm hoping they're going to ripen up pretty soon because I only have like 3-4 weeks left on my tomatoes. I think I'm going to pull these, the ones that are turning yellow. I'm going to pull them and take them inside to ripen up inside. There I have some beans growing. More tomatoes that really need to ripen up really good. And then here's some more tomatoes, but they're latecomers. They're not going to be able to do much before the first frost hits here, which is usually around October 15th. And here are the flowers. These are all marigolds. I have different marigolds I have cultivated over the years, okay? Most people know the marigolds here, the orange ones, but I also have lighter versions. They're sort of like a lemon color. And then here are the really yellow ones that I've created over the years. There you go. There's some more. Oh, look, there's a bee. A big old bee on there trying to get some honey out of the marigolds. And that is the end of my switch over. I'm wishing everybody a great week and plan on having more of these videos that I'm going to be posting. Sending love and blessings to all. Bye-bye. Remember, Coffee Time with Grandpa. Subscribe. Love y'all. Bye-bye. See you next time.